Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Katie. I'm going to guide you through a quick and sweet, short, simple video, about 20 minutes long. This is for people who are sitting a lot at their computers. Just not a lot of movement going on. So let's get a quick boost of energy and open up the body. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Right? If you feel like you're very tight in the hips, that might look like your knees are really high up, then sit up on a block or a blanket. Okay. All right. So let's begin. Let's rest your palms on your kneecaps. Relax your fingers. Push your hips down and lengthen your spine up. All right. We'll do a couple of cat-cows just to floss the spine. So inhale. We're going to bend the arms more and open up the chest. Arch your spine. And exhale, rounding your back. Bring your chin towards your chest and we'll tilt towards the back of the pelvis. Okay. Inhale, bend the elbows and bring the heart through. Maybe open up through the throat, tilt the head back. Exhale, chin towards your chest, rounding your back, straightening the arms eventually, and tuck the tailbone under. Okay, let's do 3 more. Inhale, pull against the kneecaps. Bend the elbows, open the chest. Exhaling, chin to chest, round your back. Inhaling, so let movement and breath, join together. And exhaling around your back. Actually, it's breath first and then movement follows. Inhale and bring the chest through the arms. Open up the throat and exhaling around your back. And then from here, let's come to neutral spine. Let's come into a little bit of side bending. So we're going to reach your right hand to the floor. And then keep your hips grounded. Inhale, left arm up. And exhale, up and over. Let's do it again. Inhale, same side. And exhale, up and over. One more time and we'll hold it. Inhale, left arm up. And exhale, up and over. And hold it here. 1. For 2. Reach left fingers up and out of the left shoulder. 3. Let your right elbow drop towards the floor. 4. And 5, and inhale, push and come all the way up. Left arm, let's stretch it up to the sky and take your left arm now parallel to the floor. Let's turn your left thumb downwards and bend at the elbow to take the hand back behind you. So you're going to reach your hand to the right lower back or the side of the waist. Let's reach your opposite arm, right arm up to the sky. And bend at your elbow. Take your right fingers towards the left ear, so the left side of the head. Inhale, sit up tall again, and exhale. Just let your right ear come down towards the right shoulder. And draw the left shoulder back and down. So we're just getting a nice stretch through the left side of the neck, top of the left shoulder. And you can resist your left hand and the right side of the waist a little bit to see if you can open the left chest a little bit more. 1, 2, press down through the feet. 3, 4, and 5. And inhale, we'll bring your head back to neutral. And exhale, let's release both your hands down to the floor. Let's do the other side, okay? Left hand stays on the ground. Inhale, right arm up. And exhale, over. Again, inhale up and exhale up and over. One more time and we'll hold it. Inhale up and exhale up and over. Hold it here. 1. Left elbow drops towards the floor. 2. Stretch the right fingers out of the right shoulder. 3. Feel the stretch on the right side of your ribs. 4. And 5. And inhale, use your right arm to lift and sit up taller. And on your exhale, take your right arm out, so about parallel to the floor. Turn your right thumb down. Bend at the elbow. Take your hand behind your back, so to your left lower back or maybe to the left side of the waist. Inhale, left arm up, and exhale, bend into your elbow. Take your left fingertips to rest gently towards the right ear, right side of the head. Inhale, lift both sides of the chest, and exhale, tilting so your left ear comes towards your left shoulder. 1. Okay, get a feeling of the elbows feeling heavy, so you get more release around tops of the shoulders. 2. Keep your lower belly drawn inside to keep your spine lifted. 3. For 4. and 5. Okay, inhale, bring your head back to center, and on your exhale, replace and take your hands back to the floor. Okay, and then from here, we'll just do a little twist. So take your right hand behind you, stretch to the left side one more time. Inhale, and on your exhale, keep your hips where they are. Just gonna rotate. So start from your mid spine, and your upper spine turns towards the right. So turning the chest, turning your chin to the right. And now take your left hand at the last moment outside the right thigh, or you can take the hand to the knee. Okay, we'll hold here for 5 counts. So lift up nice and tall through the spine. 1, 2, so feel the rotation of your spine. 3, so you're turning from the ribs and the chest and the chin. 4, and 5. Okay, and let's come back to center. Let's switch it up. So left hand goes behind you a little bit for support on the floor. Right arm up, inhale, and we'll initiate the twist. So your mid spine and your upper spine and your chin turns towards the left, and at the last moment, take your right hand to the knee or the thigh, and then sit up tall, inhale, and turn to the left. 1, so your right belly and your ribs turning to the left. 2, your chest turns to the left. 3, your chin turns to the left. 4, and 5. Okay, and let's come back to center. Okay, maybe we're ready to come onto the hands and knees. So you're gonna shift forward. Okay, so tabletop position. We're going to take your hands about shoulder width apart. Your knees are about hip width apart. And we'll do a couple of circles for the hips. Okay, so just moving your hips around and around a little bit. Okay, you might bend into the arms. You might keep the arms straight. It's really up to you. Forward and back. Side to side. And we'll do the other way. Okay, just a couple of circles, loosening up the hips. Because we get really stiff when we're sitting a lot, right? Around the pelvis. All right. And then from here, inhale, come into tabletop again. And exhale, keep your toes tucked under, joining the feet. Take your knees wider apart. And like a child's pose, take your hips towards your heels. Okay. Inhale, rock forward, shoulders over the wrists. And exhale, rock back, hips to heels. One more time. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, go back and hold. 1. Okay, so now you're stretching at the bottoms of the feet and your toes. 2. Maybe take your hands a little further forward and push down and away with your hands. Lengthen the spine. 3. Push through the thumbs especially. Lengthen your inner arms. 4. And 5. Okay, and then from here, let's come forward with your shoulders on top of your wrists. Take your knees hip width and your feet hip width. And then from here, let's come into our first downward dog. So toes stay tucked under. Start to suck your belly in and up, and then lift your hips back and up. Right? So downward dog. Feet about hip width distance. Good. Drop the head. You might be really tight if you don't practice yoga, regularly. So if you're really tight, let's try bending the knees quite a bit, and then use the strength of your arms to push your hips back and up. All right. So it just depends on your body. If it's quite stiff, keep the knees bent, and that will help you to lengthen your spine better and take your hips back. Some of you might be able to straighten the legs a little bit more. Some of you maybe heels to the floor. Everybody's going to be a little bit different, and that's very normal. All right. As long as you feel better during and after the practice, then yoga is doing its job. Right. Look towards your belly or look towards your knees. You're not trying to hold your head up. Draw the belly in to support the lower spine. Okay, let's take one more breath. Keep pressing the hands down and away from you. Inhale. You want to lift your front ribs in and up also. And exhale. All right. And then from here, let's bend the knees. Look forward. Just take a little walk. You can lift up onto fingertips if you're tight. And then have the feet about hip width distance. Bend the knees and push into the fingertips and feet and lift halfway. Tailbone curls in, so you're protecting your lower back. And exhale, drop the head towards your knees. And then from here, take your arms back behind you. Interlace your hands. Here to keep your ribs and thighs glued together. And stretch your arms up and over your head. And maybe you let your head come closer towards your feet.
Good. Let your ears drop down towards your feet and hold. 1. Good. Hug like you have a block between your inner thighs a little bit. 2. Good. Arms up and over. Just rinsing out the shoulders. 3. Good. 4. And 5. Okay, and then from here, release your fingertips to the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway, and on your exhale, let's step your left knee back and down to the floor. So let's do a low lunge, okay? So your right knee is in a square shape, right knee on top of the heel, and then let's take your arms up. Inhale, so a low lunge. Good, arms are nice and tall. Use your arms to help you to lift your spine up a little bit taller. You can look forward or look up between the hands. Good. On your exhale, let's take your arms back behind you. Good, interlace your hands. Inhale, lift your chest. And on your exhale, let's take your left fingertips to the floor and stretch your right arm up to the sky. Okay, so a nice twist. So I'm going to offer some variations. You're more than welcome to stay here. Easy twist. Maybe you will feel like you want to pick up your back knee, so straighten the back leg. Good, and then hold. 1, bend the right knee. 2, you have one hand on the floor, so push down and stretch your right fingertips taller. 3, turn the chest towards the right-hand side of your mat. 4 and 5. Okay, left knee down and the hands come back down. And slowly, let's start to walk your hands back so we can straighten the right leg. Flex your right toes towards you. And inhale, lift your chest. Hold. And exhale, just maybe start to fold forward a little bit. If you're really tight, you won't be able to forward fold much. That's okay. Inhale, lift your spine. Even a little bit counts. Exhale from your hips. Pivot. One more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. 1. Okay, so you might feel very tight in the back of the right leg. It's okay as long as you feel in the belly of the muscle a little stretch. Okay, 2. Push your right heel down and dig it back towards you a little bit. 3. Okay. Make sure you're not smushing your right knee into the ground. Unlock your right knee. 4 and 5. Okay, and then from here, we're going to step forward, right foot on the floor. Take your arms back up. Inhale, reach up tall again. Look up between the hands and exhale, hands to the floor. And then we'll step back into down dog. So downward dog. Take a breath. Inhale. So press down through the hands. Good. Head is inside. Look towards the belly. Exhale. Okay, 2 more breaths. Again, if you're a little bit tighter in the body, bend the knees to take your hips back more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Okay, one more time. Inhale. It's nice, even breaths. Exhale. All right, and then from here, we're going to look forward, walk up towards the top of the mat, and we'll have your feet about hip-width distance. Lift up halfway, and exhale, fold, head down towards your knees, and inhale, push into the fingertips, belly's inside. On your exhale, step your right knee back and down. Same thing, other side. So left knee on top of the heel, head spreading the left toes. Good. Ground the legs. Inhale. Pick up the arms. Good. Lift the spine out of the pelvis. A feeling of doing that. And on your exhale, reach your arms back behind you. Interlace your hands. And inhale. Curl the chest up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, let's release. Good. Your right fingertips to the floor. Under the shoulder. Okay. Keep the left knee pointing forward. Keep the hips squared to the front. Take your left arm up to the sky. You can stay here, or maybe you straighten the back leg. 1. Good. Up to you. Right knee down or right leg straight. 2. Good. That's a good thing about yoga. You can always make it a little bit more challenging, or you can modify as you need to. 3. Good. Push down through the right fingertips. Stretch to the left arm. Turn the chest. 4 and 5. Okay, right knee to the floor, left hand to the ground, and slowly we'll walk your hands back so that you can straighten the left leg. Okay, keep the right thigh perpendicular to the floor if you can. Unlock the left knee. Inhale, lift your spine, and exhale, going to move the head and spine together so you can forward fold a little bit. Okay, inhale, lift and lengthen.
Exhale to fold. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And inhale, lift up. And you're going to step your left foot firmly on the ground again. Let's take the arms back up one more time. Inhale, stretch up tall, and exhale, hands to the floor. We'll step back into downward dog and take 3 breaths. In through the nose, exhale through the nose. In through the nose, exhale through the nose. Look towards your belly. And one more time. Inhale, breathe in. Long arms. Exhale through the nose. Okay, and then from here, let's bend the knees. Look forward. Walk to the top of the mat. Let's have your feet again, hip width distance. Lift halfway. If you're really tight, you can always bring the hands to the shin bones instead. Stretch the chest forward. Exhale, fold, head down towards your knees. This time, I'm going to bend the knees and bring your arms about parallel to the floor. Tuck your tailbone under, good, and hold. Imagine holding a heavy block. 1, 2, hug into the inner thighs. Ground your toes and your heels. 3, keep lengthening your lower back by lifting your back ribs. 4, tailbone inside. And 5. Okay, and the hands to the waist. Good, and push to straighten the legs. Good. Take a breath. Inhale. Take a breath. Exhale. Good. Okay, from here, you're going to take your right leg out to the right side. Just stretch and some forward folds. Okay, so turn the big toes in and heels out a little bit. Good. Squeeze the waistline with the fingers. Lift your chest and exhale, fold. So from your hips, you can take your hands to the floor. If you're tight, it might be fingertips and with the knees bent, okay? Inhale, lift halfway, and exhale, fold, right? So some of you, if you're a little more open, walk your hands back, elbows on top of the wrists, head down towards the floor. 1, just do what you can do safely, reasonably. 2, 3, reach the crown of the head towards the floor. Good. Make sure your toes are grabbing the floor a little bit. 4, make sure your leg muscles are activated and hugging the bones. And 5, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, stay there. Take your hands to the waist and push with the feet. Inhale, come all the way up, and exhale there. Let's do one more of these. Inhale, lift your spine, and exhale, hinge from the hips, fold in half. And take your right hand to the floor this time. So right hand, let's take it underneath your chin. Push with the right hand, and the arm is straight, and lean a little forward so your hips come forward towards your toes. Keep your hips squared, so hips level. And then from here, turn the chest towards the left. You can keep your hand on the waist, or maybe take your left arm up towards the sky. 1, lift your right hip up a little bit more than the left to neutralize your pelvis. 2, push into the feet and your right hand. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's switch sides. So left hand replaces the right. So it's underneath your chin. Roll a little forward. Make sure you're not locking your knees, by the way. Belly's inside. And keep your hips level. Turn the chest towards the right. Keep your hand on the waist or reach your right arm. 1, 2, lift your left hip a little higher than the right just to even things out. 3, lift out of the left shoulder. 4, and 5. Okay, then from here, bring your hands back to the floor. And then from here, we'll turn, walk your hands towards the front end of the room. Good, and step your right foot forward. Feet hip width distance. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Push your hands into the waist. Come all the way up. And exhale there. All right, so let's do one balancing posture, and then we'll come down to the floor. Ready? So from here, let's do a little hip opening and balancing. Balancing on your left leg. Let's pick up your right leg and make a number 4 shape with your right leg like this. So your foot comes above the knee. Take your arms forward, just like we did that squat before, like we're sitting into, you could call it a ghost chair. So tuck your tailbone and hold like a heavy block, imagine, between your hands. 1, 2. Let your right thigh bone just kind of like drop out of the pelvis. Hips, 3. So it's the hip opener. 4. And 5. And then stand up tall and then stretch the arms up towards the sky. Lift a little taller and exhale, release. Take your hands down. Okay, let's do the other side. So balancing on the right leg. Ready? Drawing through the valley. Pick up your left leg. Take it into number 4 shape. So foot just above the kneecap. Flexing the left foot. Reach your arms forward. Sit into your ghost chair. Suck the belly in. 1. Good. Reach the arms, holding a heavy block. 2. Use your imagination. 3. 4. And 5. Okay, and the inhale, slowly come all the way up, arms up, and on your exhale, let's release. Good. Okay, let's come into a squat. Quick one, so you can, if you're a little bit more flexible, your knees can still face forward. If you're a little bit tighter, you might feel better taking your heels in and toes out. So we'll just come into a squat, malasana, it's called in yoga. Take your hands together in front of the heart, and then use your elbows to press back and open the chest, right? 1. So we're opening the hips. We're also lengthening the spine, hopefully, as you lift your heart. 2. Good. Roll the shoulders back out of the ears. 3. Press your hands maybe a little more firmly. Press out through the elbows. 4. And 5. Okay, and then from here, just sit down onto the floor, a little bit of core, and then it's time to rest. Okay, so let's take your feet on the ground, knees are bent, and then from here, take your hands to the kneecaps, right? And then you're going to tuck your tailbone under, scoop under for a posterior tilt, and then we'll hold here. All right, 1. So rounding your back, release the tops of the shoulders. 2. Good. 3, should feel the work in your lower belly. Squeeze like you have a block between the inner thighs. 4 and 5. And inhale, take your arms up now, not holding the knees. Exhale, lower 1 inch. Inhale, up an inch. Exhale, lower an inch. Let's do that 10 times. 10. Just do what you can do. 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep your knees nice and quiet. 5. Keep your feet down. 4. 3. Little movements. 2. 1. Hold it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we'll come all the way to the floor. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice rock around. Good. All right. All right, nice little stretch from here for the front of the body. Bridge pose. Bend the knees, feet on the ground. Make sure you can touch your fingers to your heels. Lift your hips and lift your chest. Okay, we'll use your palms down flat on the ground. 1, a little push through the upper arms to lift your chest. 2, good. Press down through the big toes and the mounds of your big toes to wake up your inner legs. 3, good. 4, and 5. And then come on down, take a breath, inhale, exhale. Let's just do one more. Ready? Maybe we'll change the arms. So inhale, start with the hips lifting, chest lifting. This time you can interlace your hands underneath your spine. Push down into the elbows and upper arms. 1, 2, try to send your knees and the hips forward towards your toes. 3, try to pull your heels back a little bit so you can contract the back of the legs. 4 and 5. Okay, come all the way down to the floor. Take a breath, inhale. Take a breath, exhale. Knees in towards your chest. Gentle rocks if you like. Good. All right, and then from here, we'll take your legs up towards the sky. Good. And on your exhale, so if you're tighter, you might just stay here. Arms out to the sides of the body. Otherwise, maybe we use your hands on the legs. Okay, and slowly start to feel the lift of your hips. Feel lift of the lower back a little bit. Good, and just see where your hands can go. Back of the legs, or maybe some of you to your heels. Hug your legs together. 1, 2, belly is inside. 3, spin your inner thighs in. 4, and 5. Okay, then slowly Bend the knees again, feet on the floor. Take them about hip width distance. Arms up and over, hold the elbows. Inhale, breathe in. And we're going to finish with a twist. Exhale, knees to the right. Let's take a full breath. Inhale. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale, knees up. And exhale, knees to the left. One breath, inhale. One breath, exhale. Okay, let's come back to center. Let your feet move a little wider to the edges of the mat. Let your knees rest on each other. Let's relax your arms alongside your bodies. Turn the palms up, hands wider than the shoulders. All right, so we come to a resting position. If you have, tension in your lower back, you feel some strain, it's nice to create this position with the knees bent to let your lower back kind of hammock towards the floor. Or if you're okay in the lower back today, maybe you try straightening out the legs. Feel like you're in a starfish shape. You might wiggle it out a little bit. Just kind of fidgeting, get your fidgeting out of the body and the mind. When you're ready, let's come to stillness and rest. So I recommend resting for a couple minutes, 5 minutes if you can, after this nice short practice. So thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to repeat this practice anytime you like. So it's more about practicing every day or more consistently, and it's better for your body, better for your mind that way to be steady, right? So do a little bit every day. Thank you so much, everybody. Good. Namaste.